Throughout my time teaching at Notre Dame, I've had many conversations with students where we discuss their plans for their careers. A big question that comes up frequently is, how can we engineer for good? To begin thinking about this question, we want to start by thinking about our common good. That is the setting of the conditions where each of us can reach our fullest potential. We can take a moral measure of our technologies and see if they align with our communal and individual flourishing. Here we can draw from a philosophical and historical framework that was written specifically to guide us towards human flourishing and the common good. This is called Catholic social teaching. So, Catholic social teaching is made up of a variety of documents written by bishops and popes in response to cultural changes such as the Industrial Revolution or the climate crisis. These documents are founded in the philosophical and theological tradition of the Catholic Church and were created to respond to contemporary culture. Over time, 7 key themes have emerged: life and dignity of the human person, call to family and community participation, rights and responsibilities, an option for the poor and the vulnerable, the dignity of work and the rights of workers, solidarity, and the care of God's creation. We can see from these 7 core principles of Catholic social teaching that even though they are rooted in the Catholic philosophical and theological tradition, they are widely applicable regardless of your religious background. Catholic social teaching articulates values that are held across religious traditions, moral codes, and anyone of any faith background can hold these principles in mind as they strive towards the common good. This is not the first time that teachings from the Catholic intellectual tradition have been used in a broader context. The Catholic teaching of just war theory is taught to all branches of the U.S. military, regardless of faith background, to help guide their ethical decision-making at wartime. For an engineer, Catholic social teaching helps us engineer for good because it reminds us of what we owe others and what we ourselves deserve. It reminds us that we can and should make technologies that direct us towards our common flourishing. In fact, Catholic social teaching is not a body of thought that we are adapting to apply to engineering. It was first created as a response to the effects of modern technological development. Rerum Novarum, the first and foundational document of Catholic social teaching, was written in response to the societal changes happening during the Industrial Revolution. Rerum Novarum reminds us that work can be deeply related to human dignity if systems are set in place such that the worker is free from exploitation. The Industrial Revolution shifted society from small groups of farmers and merchants to many laborers working in factories with harsh conditions. Just a few factory owners could profit from the exploitation of many factory workers. A few key points to highlight are that work is communal, it is something that is good for humanity, but that rest from work is also a right. Work that is focused on the human person is foremost, making sure that just wages are paid and that dignity is preserved. A more recent encyclical, Laudato Si, talks about the good of technology and how it is a tool that we can and should be developing to take better care of our common home. It tells us that technoscience, when well directed, can produce important means of improving the quality of human life, from useful domestic appliances to great transportation system, bridges, buildings, and public spaces. While technology has given us much good, technology can propagate a mindset that sees humans apart from nature. But Laudato Si reminds us that technology need also be used to care for and to protect our common home. So Catholic social teaching is not just a limiting body of work that tells us what not to do, but it's a body of work that praises the goodness of technology when built in the right way, with the right intentions. It helps guides us toward the development of technology that supports the common good. From these documents, we can draw ideas about the technologies that we create, helping guide our engineering practices for good, We can also learn about the workplace and what guidelines need to be in place in order to retain the goodness of work and to support human flourishing.